contenders and pretenders. So we're going off of sort of our vibes and the standing, right? Celtics, Thunder, East and West favorites right now. That's according to the Smarties. But we want to look at some of the others who happen to also be at the top, and that specifically is Cleveland, because they have the best record in the Eastern Conference, and yet 48-10, win total from last season, and we ain't even done yet. I'm going to start with Boogie. Contenders or pretenders?
Cavaliers, definitely contenders.
Okay.
One of the best teams in the East. They've improved so much from last season. Made a huge trade for DeAndre Hunter, who I believe is another good piece to help elevate this team.
Goodness.
The chemistry is there, the camaraderie is there. Donovan Mitchell and Garland have finally figured out how to play together and be impactful on the game. Mobley has stepped up. He's improved from year to year. Big fella is doing a great job protecting the paint. He's continuing to improve. So, everything is rolling for this young team. And I like the way they've done it. They kept their main guys there. They just improved over the years and, added a splash at the deadline to, take them over the top. So they're definitely
right at the deadline.
Yeah, they're fully contended. I mean, they're 48-10. They're 6 games above the big bad Celtics, and they've been so consistent all year long. And last year, they were really good when they were healthy. And I think J.B. Bickerstaff still got the short end of that stick because they dealt with a lot of injuries. But Kenny Atkinson's coming here. He's probably runaway coach of the year. He's done a great job getting these guys to play together. They're deep. The DeAndre Hunter addition is fantastic. They get guys like Sam Merrill and Ty Jerome, and they have the guys that we have had great season that we haven't even talked about because
Ty Jerome last night.
Because they're so deep, you know what I mean? And then the growth of Evan Mobley also. He took that next jump to all-star status now, so they're 1,000% contenders.
They are one of 3 teams that follow the Phil Jackson rule, so it's either going to be the Thunder, the Celtics, or the Cavs that will win it all this year, according to the Phil Jackson 40-20 rule. So that's a little bit of a stat if you want to throw that in your nerd cap.
Thunder, Celtics, Cavs?
And Thunder. Yeah, you have to have 40 wins before you reach 20 losses, and only 3 teams have that this year. So that's it.
Happens to be the best 3 teams.
Yep, there you go. The Knicks are not one of them, unfortunately, Lou, and we're going to start with you on them. 37-20, they're third, but they've also gone 0-5 against the Cavs and the Celtics. So contenders or pretenders?
Contenders, and I'm gonna tell you why they're contenders.
Love that for you.
They're contenders because they're going to win their first round series, and then they're going to have to run into 1 or 2 of these teams that they've struggled with. And what's the hardest thing to do is to continue to beat up on somebody all year long. So the fact that they're 0-5 against Cleveland and Boston, respectfully, this is going to be a tough out for both of those teams to continue to beat the New York Knicks like this. Like, this is a team that we already know they're going to play a 7 to 8 man rotation. So you're going to have a group that's going to be able to concentrate. And in a 7-game series, you're going to make adjustments. You're going to do things on the fly. I think they can contend and give a Cleveland Cavaliers a run for their money in the half-court system if it goes their way. And anything can happen in a 7-game series. And so for that reason, anytime you have talent, anytime you got a team that's willing to play defense, you can contend, you give yourself an opportunity. That's why I think they're still contenders, even though they don't play at the level that we would like to see them play against the top 2 teams.
And I'll say this, their rotations shorten during the postseason, the playoffs, and that is no problem at all for Tibbs and the Knicks because they play 6 or 7 guys anyway. So they are going to be used to this. They're going to be used to the minutes. They're going to be used to the high volume usage rate. So that does help. Their starting 5 is very, very good. Can Mitchell Robinson come back and be productive? Can Precious be good? Can Deuce McBride still be that spark off the bench? So they're kind of on the cusp. Like, anything can happen, like Lou said, but I think they're ways behind Cleveland and Boston still.
I'm going to be the oddball out. I don't think so. I just think it's not enough talent there. I love the starting 5. I love their identity being this tough, defensive-minded team.
You don't like Payne and McBride off the bench?
It's just not enough. And especially when you look at teams like we just talked about.
What about Landry Shamet?
We just talked about how deep this Cleveland team is. We're talking about, the defending champs in the Celtics. So for me, when I look at this Knicks team and I compare them to these other 2 teams, it's just not enough. Like I said, outside of the starting 5, obviously it's a really good starting 5, but more depth. I would like a little more offense in that starting 5. I think a Brad Beal would, be a good spot or a good addition to that team.
Blow it up.
And then I think they can make that jump to title contender. But as of right now, with what they have right now, really, really good team. Obviously, they'll make the playoffs. I even believe they'll make it past the first round. But after that, things get a little shaky.
Pretenders for Boogie. All right, Bucks, 32-25, 5th in the East. We know they did the Middleton-Kuzma trade. Chandler, contenders or pretenders for Milwaukee?
Neither. Like they're neither. They're not.
Like
not
pick one. Contend or pretend.
They're not going to win it all. So I guess they're not a contender. But I don't think they're. I think they're a tough out. I think they're a good team. They have really. I love the addition of Kyle.
Pretenders doesn't mean they suck. It just means they're not going to win it all.
They're just as.
Stand on
They're
something,
just
man.
as. How do I say this?
Just say
I think they're just as much of a contender as the Knicks are. I really do. I think that series would be great. I don't know who would win that series. I really don't. I think.
Come on, man.
You like Knicks?
No, I like
Milwaukee. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think
thinking about it.
so two Hall of Fame talents.
So if you think the Knicks are contenders,
I'll say it.
Then the
I
Bucks.
think they're pretenders. And I think they're pretenders. We just talked about them having a stretch in 6 minutes. They can't score the basketball and they can't figure it out
Without their Hall of Famer.
Without the two Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Like, something has to happen outside of those two guys.
Well, in the playoffs,
They
the Hall of Famers aren't coming off the floor anyway.
Well, they not. But if they do,
damn sure not for 6 minutes.
if they do, they just showed you who they are when they off the floor.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna have to keep one or two of these guys on the floor, and who's gonna give you something after that? You get rid of Chris Middleton, you bring in Kuzma for that scoring punch. I'm sure Kuzma will get it going, but you got to find something to come off the bench to give you something as well. And if you go in 6 minutes and not scoring a basketball, that puts me in a position to say you're a pretender.
I'll tell you this: 3-6 first round right now would be Knicks Bucks, and I don't know if I would take. You said the Knicks are going to win their first series. I don't know if they will.
I say pretender. So you're saying contender?
No, because they're not going to win it all.
We do got.
Well, do we ignore the fact that they
What do we do?
Somewhere in the middle.
No, you're in the middle.
Do we
I
ignore
say
the fact that they won the in-season tournament? Does that mean nothing? I mean,
Sounds like
obviously
we're
this
ignoring
is a team with some type of potential. They've shown that they can come together and win high-stake situations.
Yeah, it helps.
So do we ignore that going into the playoffs?
No, and I think that's great experience. But again, this is an experienced team already. They got Lopez, Giannis, Dame. Like they've all been there before. But yeah, I think playing in like an elimination games like that, playing in a big stage, that definitely helps. See, Indiana, they got hot last year from making that run, and so that definitely helped a team like that. I just don't think they're going to win it all. But I don't. So I guess they're not contenders. But
For the sake of this, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not contenders. It's pretender.
Pretender just sounds
Why can't you
also-
say that? That's so
I don't like pretender.
Okay, fine. But the Grizzlies, we'll do that one right now. 38-20, second in the West. This is an interesting one because I do think very much they fall into this. What are they, Boogie? Contender or pretender?
I mean, doesn't you feel rude saying pretender, but they're not going to win it all?
Yeah, I don't think Memphis is
So
winning
you
it
woke
all.
up today caring about being rude.
The rudest guy ever.
Yeah.
Good point, Lou.
Yeah.
Points, Lou.
I don't think they're a contender. I think they're a good team. I think they'll be competitive.
So what does that make them?
A good team.
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts to say it.
It does not hurt.
I mean, I just don't see them coming into the playoffs and you know, beating the Lakers or Denver or anything like that 4 times. So I think they'll make noise. I think they'll be exciting to see. Obviously, with a star like Ja Morant, you know, you do give yourself a chance, but you know that relationship isn't in the best space. So I think this is kind of a make it break it year for Memphis. You know, whatever happens, I think they make decisions in the offseason.
So they won't make it, and then they're going to trade Ja. That's how they're going to excuse it? We're trading him because we didn't,
I mean,
win
we've
the
seen
West?
crazy. We've seen the team go to the
now
finals and trade their
everyone's
star.
on the
Everything counts now.
Yeah.
Anybody have them as contender?
I'll say they're a contender.
Really?
Yeah, but I also agree with Boogie. This is a make or break season.
Okay.
Like this is their opportunity to be a contender. If you don't do it this year, I think that window's closed after that.
It's just crazy because they're 38-20. Like they should, they're second best team. You know what I mean? Like they should be a contender.
You know somebody has to contend, right?
And I think in the West, it's the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Lakers, not the Grizzlies.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said. We'll make this next one quick
That.
because
So
Lakers.
You take the next one then.
Contender?
Is the Lakers the next one?
Yeah, we started the show with
How about that little seggy? Yeah, I think they're contenders. I think they got better. I think they're healthy.
Those are good odds right there, Lou.
It kind of hurt not getting the Mark Williams done, but honestly, Jackson Hayes has shown that he's a valuable lob threat for these playmakers. Austin Reeves has kind of managed to find his way still with 2 ball-dominant guards or guys like LeBron and Luka. So I think they're a contender. I think they're poised. I think they're trying to maximize this LeBron James window right now, and they are a solid team. They're defending best defensive team last month or whatever we said.
16 games.
So now they're doing it all. Like, yeah, I think they are for real. I think they are a contender. I like them. Again, I like them. I like Denver. I like the Thunder. I think outside of that, everyone's just solid teams.
Mavericks?
That's fair.
They're healthy. If they're healthy, they have a chance. But no, I think they're another solid team.
3 contenders? I mean, I even think they're contenders in that.
I definitely think the
That hurts
Lakers
my
are
heart.
contenders. I mean, everything we've seen as of lately, they've definitely taken their team to another level. LeBron seems like he went to the lab, got some rejuvenation. He's playing out of his mind. Obviously, Luka is playing with a huge chip on his shoulder.
Bad combo for the rest of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure Dallas thinks he'll eat the chip, but, you know, that's besides the point.
Little snacking ass Luka.
But, I mean, it's obvious. They're playing at a high level. Austin Reeves is playing at a high level. Definitely a contender.
Boogie brought writers today. All right, fair enough. We're going to take a quick break. More Run It Back on the other side.
Run it back, yeah. Run it up, then run it back.
All right, Boogie Lou, we got time for one more. Pretenders or contenders, the Warriors. They're 6-1 with Jimmy Butler. Improved their record of 31-27. 8th in the West, just a half game out of the 6th seed. What we got?
Contenders for sure. This is the Warriors. We all know their history. We know what they can bring once they're in the position to be successful. They're now in a position to be successful. They added a huge piece in Jimmy Butler. They're playing well. They're flowing well. Steph is playing out of his mind right now. Obviously, when you get a chance to have a talent like that on your team, you always have a chance. Draymond playing out of his mind. You put two defensive guys like Draymond and Jimmy together, that's a scary team. So everybody knows the Warriors' best teams are when they're defensive teams, and, you know, this is one of those years for them.
With Kuminga coming back still, yeah?
Yeah, I think they're contenders. I like it.
So we got the Warriors, Thunder, Nuggets, and Lakers, and the Mavs on the cusp.
Absolutely.
It's wide open. See you guys tomorrow, 8 a.m. Run it back.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.